Hello and welcome! Tonight on the show, start your engines. We're trying Quaker Steak and Lube Louisiana liquors. It's a 2 out of 5, according to them on their front label here. Stay tuned to see what we're going to give it. We are so excited to have you. This is Sauce Spoken.
And we're back. We are Sauce Spoken. We're the podcast detailing your favorite sauces, dips, and condiments. My name's Adam, and I'm your host, and I'm joined here this week by my co-host, Tori.
Hello, good afternoon, good morning, and salutations. My name is Tori. This is Sauce Spoken, and we are delighted to have you, of course. And to my right, he's the fella who most recently came down Niagara Falls in a barrel and lived to tell about it. Here he is, to my right, our friend and co-host E.
Well, we certainly had a whole lot of rain and a whole lot of flooding around here, so
Indeed,
yes,
yes.
we all managed to come out alive.
Yeah, I got a good story about that, by the way.
Nice.
He came down that waterfall with severe brain damage, as you can tell. It was retroactive brain damage, and it's been consistent throughout the whole podcast.
It was actually the waterfall coming off of Mount Washington straight into the river.
Oh.
It was awesome.
Great. Well, aside from barrel jumping or whatever, Eric, do you want to go ahead and tell us about how your week was?
Sure, my week's been good. I don't have too many complaints. I got a little beat up over the weekend with I was going to let Adam talk about this particular event, but
This beating.
Yeah, the beating I gave him.
He gave me,
Being
exactly.
a piece of shit.
Now I sort of crashed my bike, and my bike ended up hitting my legs in a way that was I'm very bruised. Let's just say that.
You're a delicate man to begin with. You have a lot of feet. You're susceptible to injury, and you have weak feet, to put it mildly.
Put it mildly, yeah.
A feminine step.
You've never been diagnosed with anything.
I'm checking.
I know you are.
Tread lightly.
Oh, that's funny. No, yeah. So I got.
Tori.
It
was a wild and fun weekend. I think, Adam, do you want to talk more in depth about that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You already spoiled it for the listeners.
Already spoiled
They
it.
already know the
So
punchline.
So we went
Whooped the
mountain.
shit
Well,
out of
there's a whole lot more to that. We went mountain biking over. What was that, Saturday, Adam?
Yes.
Okay. So we went mountain biking on. Wasn't it Friday? It was Friday.
It was Friday.
It was Friday, you dork. I wasn't even there, and I know.
It was Friday.
Anyways, so we went mountain biking on Friday evening. We went to these really cool trails. It was in the woods.
Heartwood Acres for the locals.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Heartwood Acres.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's
My
it's
first
like
time being there.
It's like a mansion or something like that, and it's I guess it was like donated to the state or to the county or something, and it's just like a big park system now. But it was this whole big mansion with acreage, hence the acres part, and it was an estate, and now it's public parks. They've got movie theaters in the park there. They've
Concerts like crazy.
Yep, they've got road trails. They've got off-road trails. I think they do mansion tours too, but I've never done that.
And typical E, I have never heard of this place, never heard of any of these concerts or any of this kind of stuff. I live under a rock, as we all know.
You live on the wrong side of the river, so
Well, that's true, too.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So, yeah, I had a really fun time. It was like I said, it was wild. We were going on these off-road trails, and it was steep uphill. Well, actually, it wasn't that steep. It was gradual uphill climbs for a ways, which was quite a workout, followed by intense steep downhills into rocky ravines with a hybrid bike, not even a mountain bike. So
yeah, it bears mentioning that our bikes, you and
both
me,
of us, yeah.
Our bikes are not equipped. Kirsten, her bike, she has a true mountain bike, a very nice mountain bike, and she makes us look like a joke with our bikes. Eric's bike is a little bit more outfitted for the road because it's got fenders and all that. Mine is at least like semi, off-road oriented, but still really not made for that at all. So
I think your tires were slightly wider, maybe like an eighth or
they're a little bit more aggressive tread.
Yeah,
but that's really it.
That's going to be a no thank you from me. You ain't going to get me on no bike going downhill like that. That would scare the bejesus out of me. No.
It's really funny you should mention that because we were about halfway through the trails and Eric stopped and said to me, "Do you think Tori and Amy would do this with us?"
Absolutely not. Oh, no. Mm-mm.
I did have a lot of fun. I did get bit up like crazy. My legs had tons of mosquito bites. I don't know if that happened at Heartwood Acres or if it happened on Saturday when I was weed whacking out here at my property. Not my property, but
weed whacking the property.
Common property here.
You're the custodian of the condos.
Yes,
This is what you are, Eric. I was out back in the back 40,
Easewood
clearing
Acres.
some brush.
It was pretty wild, though. We had brush that was like waist high, so it had gotten pretty bad out there.
And you dumped your bike on the trails. That's what this was all leading up to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I said that earlier. I dumped the bike and I banged up my legs pretty damn good. I mean, I was sore
You
and
cried
still
for
sore.
15
I
minutes.
did not
It was
cry.
so embarrassing. Kirsten had offered you some Kleenex. I said, oh my God, Eric, come on.
She did offer me her bike several times.
I got the boo-boo!
She kept saying she wanted to trade bikes. I just kept thinking, you really don't want this riding experience,
No.
Kirsten.
Yeah, she would have been having a bad time.
Yeah, for sure.
I think she wanted to see A, how rough the trails actually were for you and me, to see if we were being babies, and B, because she felt bad for you for crying for 15 minutes about your boo-boos.
But yes, that was the weekend, and then I don't think...
More importantly, we tried to go to dinner after that.
Oh, God, that was a disaster.
We tried to go to one barbecue place on a Friday night. They closed at 9 p.m.
What?
Yeah. Guess where we tried to go after that on Friday?
A pizza place.
TGI Fridays was fucking closed.
Oh.
How messed up is that?
At
That's crazy.
8:30 on a Friday, Tori,
What the
TGI
hell?
Fridays was closed. We finally ended up going to Smoky Bones.
Yeah.
Nice.
They were open. They were open till like 2 or something like that, and there was no one.
It was a
in there.
ghost town.
Yeah.
It was strange. It was a weird vibe inside there too. It was just because there was nobody there, I guess.
Right.
It was just
Yeah, it's made to be livelier than that. We had
Yeah,
a
for
tiny little
sure.
table and like 10 other empty ones. One notable thing there too, there was a girl sitting at a table and she had about 50 sauce cups sitting in front of her, and I almost proposed to her right off the bat. But I went over and looked, and I said, I kind of like gasped, like oddly, like, you know. And then I realized that she was just refilling sauce containers, like to-go things. She was an employee, but for a second I thought I had found my true
It
love.
was like her job.
Right, exactly. But Eric, anything else with your week that you want to share, or is that it?
well. Also on a note on that Smoky Bones, we had Jai Alai.
We did. Yeah, I got
You tried that liquor, that beer finally.
that beer, yeah.
Nice.
Pretty good. I would have another one.
Yeah,
Sweet.
very tasty by Cigar. What's the brewery?
Cigar City?
Cigar City. Yeah,
Oh,
Sounds right.
that's the brewery.
nice.
So
They make cigars?
I don't
Make beer.
know. I know they make beer. Yeah,
Yeah.
they might make cigars. I have no idea. Maybe
Yeah.
something for me to put in the show notes.
Tobacco and, booze. That's a
winning
really good
combination,
combo.
yeah.
That's a good one.
And we're going to go to Tori next here, but before we do that, I want to do the briefest of soft-spoken rewinds.
Oh, dang.
I'm pretty sure I was wrong. I don't think you ever did talk about the birds. I think you legitimately just did tell us that, because I haven't heard that in any previous podcasts, and I called you out for that last week. But yeah, we're allowed to feed the birds again.
Yeah. We got the notice from the Audubon Society. This is probably a month in the making now. But yeah, so I was hella stoked to pull all the feeders down and put them in some hot Clorox water, get them sanitized and dried, and back up. And boy, we're having a ball. The Cardinals are back. Sadly, there's no more Orioles. Yeah,
Too late in the season for them?
That's gone. Yeah. Oh, I think they do come around in late summer. You need mealworms, I think, for them to come around. Maybe
Yum.
maybe they need the protein. Yeah, exactly. But
You can buy those at Pet Supplies Plus.
I'm sure. Yeah, for your lizard or
You
whatever.
can breed them
right.
too, dude, if you want. Just get a big old bucket, and...
No.
Anything else this week? Anything else crazy? No,
Well,
no mountain biking?
I want to ask you, boys, you liking the weather that we're experiencing right now?
Right now, yes.
Today is
Right now,
wonderful.
Today, wonderful.
Okay. Well,
Previous to today, not so much.
you can put your thank you cards in the mail because I cleaned my gutters yesterday. See, this is like the reverse rain dance. See, and that's what I call washing my car, because when I wash my car, it's guaranteed to rain in the next 6 hours.
That's for sure.
That's the rain dance. You're summoning it. That's just what happens. The rain elemental, maybe. But see, now that I did my gutters, it's the reverse of that. So it's never going to rain in Pittsburgh again.
Cool.
Yeah.
But we did have a whole lot of rain as we started the conversation off.
Monsoon.
Yeah, I had a monsoon. I had a leaky roof, which put me in the gutter to begin with.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where was it leaking at?
Right on the corner, downspout clogged.
Yeah, my back gutters have small trees growing out of them, and because they're like 40 feet in the air, and I was going to buy a big ladder that was like $500. I was going to go buy this ladder and do it myself to try to save some money, and my neighbor told me, he's like, hey, I got a dude who will come do it for you for $70.
Oh, bargain city.
So I'm like, I could pay to have that done like 6 times before I got to buy this ladder. And he'll do the whole house. I just need the back done.
Good. We got cash here.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll give you
take
80.
it. Yeah, I was like, I'll double. Yeah, what the hell? So yeah, I'm hoping to get my gutters cleaned as well. They've been in dire need of cleaning for what appears to be about 15 years.
Wow. Last time I had my gutters cleaned outside of that one was a fella I graduated high school with, obviously on drugs. He got my telephone number somehow, gives me a call, said, I'll come by, clean your gutters, do something. And sure enough, he did. I mean, he did a damn good job, but and the poor fella's dead now, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
But, I mean, for all,
It's a shame. It sounds like he would have done it for less than 70.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did mine for 40.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
But yeah, rest his soul.
He kind of just called you out of the blue, needed some money,
some quick cash, needed a job.
Yeah.
Boy, I hate going on the roof, so you're my man.
Yeah, really.
At least your roof's a little bit lower than mine. That like I said, mine is kind of like prohibitively difficult because of its height. So
it'd still be crippling.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. My neighbor has the same style house though, so his are also quite high like that. So I'm assuming that the cost would be in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
I have a bit of trade-off here. My roof is flat, so I don't mind now getting up there and cleaning it. But now I worry every time it rains because it's flat roof.
Yes, your roof, you're on your estate of the property.
It's a swimming pool now.
That's right.
Right. Yeah, there were swimming pools a lot of places around Pittsburgh lately. Thankfully, I did clean out my front gutters at least the other day because they do tend to flood pretty badly. They're still not perfect. The gutters need replaced. They're angled like the wrong way, But, managed to somehow avoid getting water in my garage. So maybe I think I finally got that system figured out.
Nice.
I had to put in a drain and all that and clean my gutters and all this shit, and I'm finally trying to prevent a little bit of the water from coming in the house.
Always a good thing. Keep it out.
Yep. Anything else with your week this week, Tori, you want to share?
Boy, no. I'm gonna save again what I have for next week because hell, if you want me to tell you, I'll tell you.
I don't know. It's up to you.
Okay. Well, there's a fella at the gymnasium that I go to who drives a Toyota Tacoma. I want to say it's maybe like a 96, 97. Same color. It's an SR5. I, of course, drive also a Tacoma, a bit newer. Him and I always park next to each other. Always.
Like you actively seek each other out.
If he's there, I'm parking next to him. And if I get there, I always leave enough parking spaces on either side in the event he comes by and wants to park next to me, which he does. So this has been an ongoing sort of mystery clue type game, if you will, with me. And I'm desperately trying to figure out who this cat is. So I'm playing like a game. Remember the old card, Guess Who? With the names you'd flip down.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do in my mind. So if this cat was here then, when I was here, okay, his truck was gone then, so he can't be that guy, so on and so forth. But at any rate, this has been several weeks in the making, and I'll give you, I guess, updates periodically. But the mystery continues.
Oh, I thought you were leading up to you figured this person out.
No.
That happened, kind of a similar story happened to me one time at the gym where there was this gigantic lifted Ford Raptor. And if you're not familiar, that's like Ford's premium top-of-the-line offering is like an off-road truck, and they're usually jacked about, it's usually like a 6 or an 8-inch lift or some crazy thing. It's a gigantic truck made for off-roading. It's got all the skid plates and all this other bullshit. No one actually uses them as a truck. They're like one step below, a purpose-built trophy truck. And I'm like, oh man, what gym bro drives this fucking, this gigantic truck? And I finally found the one day I was in the gym and there was no one there that seemed like it would obviously be their truck. And I went out and got my Jeep. And as I was waiting to leave, a little about 4'8" blonde chick comes out. This petite little girl comes out, climbs up into this truck. It's like she's staring like eye level at the floor pans. You know what I mean? When she comes up to this thing, climbs up in this son of a bitch, starts it up and starts driving off. Of course, she can't see out the windshield barely, But
climb on her phone books on the chair.
Yeah, basically. So stopped me from making any assumptions about what cars people drive.
It's a tough game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to, stereotype. Doesn't always work.
But speaking of gym bros and things like that, douchebags and things that people like that, what else do gym bros love but chicken wings? Which brings us this week into the sauce we're going to be tasting, which is Quaker Steak and Lube, sauce and marinade, Louisiana liquors. Louisiana for the people who want to say it the normal way.
Down on the bayou.
And we may eventually try the rest of the lineup, but this is one I had purchased for us quite a while ago, and I was a little nervous about how old it was getting, so...
Hurry up and do it.
Yeah, so hurry up and do it was kind of the gist of it. But without further ado, Eric, do you want to go ahead and lead us off with a visual description of the outside of the bottle that we're looking at here today?
Yeah, I'd be happy as always, Adam. We have ourselves here a very nice, fairly large-sized glass bottle. It looks... It's funny, actually, because it has that double rib on the top that we had on that barbecue sauce from, where is it from there? Virginia? Massa Nuttin is right. That's right. Massa Nuttin, Virginia. I think Adam was kind of giving him a hard time last time, but this had exactly a heat shrink wrap around the top of this bottle as well. A plastic black cap to it. Yeah, we have a Quaker steak and Lube.
Well, yeah, I want to touch on that. I actually was trying to do a little bit of research, and because I know that this is a common thing for me, is that I think probably for you guys too, at least Eric clearly.
Clearly, yeah. I've always said this wrong, apparently.
The way that I've always heard people say it sounds more like Quaker State and Lube, which makes sense because it's a chain that was started in Sharon, Pennsylvania. The Quaker State, Penn's Woodlands, Pennsylvania. So it would make sense that it would be Quaker State.
And if I may, that restaurant is very car-centric.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I've been to that restaurant a number of times.
Right, that's the deal. It's like supposed to be, I didn't read the Wikipedia here fully yet, but wasn't it like started off as like a place where you get your car worked on too?
Yeah. So, I mean, to play into the point, I think Quaker State doesn't sound, that was an oil brand for a long time.
Exactly.
Motor oil.
It actually
Yes.
was a motor oil brand, so that's why people tend to think.
Yes, I don't think the connection is that, if you say it, I don't think it's that embarrassing at all.
You really can't tell the difference when people say it, so I think that makes sense.
But when I'm here trying to read it right in front of me and I still manage to say it wrong, that takes a special kind of person.
Well, you're a special boy, Eric. If we haven't mentioned that before.
And it's even more bizarre that they serve mostly chicken. So
Yes.
why would it be Quaker steak?
Well, I was just reading here on Wikipedia really quick while Eric was talking that apparently they initially opened a cook-your-own steak restaurant that showcased old muscle cars. So that would make sense if they initially served steaks. They were doing a playoff of the Quaker State, and that's why it was Quaker Steak, which makes sense.
Okay.
That does make sense. I never knew that about that.
I was trying to get to the bottom of it, and I think that does kind of answer that.
I mean, if I'm not wrong, isn't Quaker Steak and Lube out of business? Didn't they shut down all their locations?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
They may have shut down for COVID, and I know they shut down the closest one to us in Cranberry, but I think it may have reopened.
They shut a lot down in Ohio, too. A lot of them closed up, so...
Okay. Well, I think that kind of ties into what we're saying about like the gym frat bro type thing, is that wings, I think, are a uniquely social event, wing eating specifically. And I think that being both a bar and a place notorious for their wings, I think that is not an environment that caters well to like takeout fare.
Well,
Fair
I think
enough,
wings aren't wings like common takeout fare for us? So that's Big Shot Bob's. Did I miss something? I must have missed something there.
What do you mean? No, I think that wings are more like a social event, like something you typically go to the bar and order. I mean, we do get them takeout.
A lot. All right.
And I have thoroughly noted my issues with takeout wings before. in general.
Yeah.
Not only just that they do make a mess in the bag, but sometimes they don't travel super well. I like my wings really crispy. I like them to order them extra crunch. I know some people are very much the opposite. They like a softer food. I like my food to have some crunch.
Yeah, I like crunch too. I think that's preferred on a wing for sure. So
crispy.
anyways.
I think crispy is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
The ideal wing.
One other quick thing I'm looking at here on the Wikipedia, which is a very short Wikipedia page, like alarmingly short Wikipedia page.
Maybe they are.
It says they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2015. So I guess that was a while ago. 6 years later here, where they stand, I don't know.
No, it says that they were acquired by travel centers, so I think they're still very much in business. But it does say in here under media heading, it says the Point at North Fayette location in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hey,
hello.
How about that?
Was featured in the Travel Channel series Man vs. Food. Challenge was to consume 6 atomic chicken wings at the time, which were the strongest wings at Quaker Steak's menu. And so the host here, Adam Richmond, completed the challenge and was awarded a commemorative bumper sticker.
Very cool.
One other person who has a commemorative bumper sticker and a place on the wall is your boy over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah?
Is that so?
Has one on the wall at Sharon, PA, if it's still there.
Nice. Well done.
I'll take it was the atomic chicken wings?
Yes.
Or was it a different? Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
What's the allotted time?
I don't think it's a time thing, but I will say this. Mine is kind of like mine has an asterisk next to it because at that location, they only made you eat one. And I think the challenge is now, or has been for whatever long, is to eat 6. So I ate one.
What the hell? I mean, that's not your fault. They changed the rules.
I don't know if I was a child at the time, like I was like 12 or something like that. So I don't know if they were just taking pity on me. But yes, I did successfully eat one. I will admit to that on air.
Very well.
Interesting. Why were you in Sharon? Never mind. Anyways, yeah, Sharon, PA. That's interesting.
It's not that far away from where I lived in Ohio. That was like the closest one.
Yeah, you're right across the border, damn near.
Yeah,
oh, really?
Close.
Okay, so clearly I just don't know. Don't
Clearly.
know Pennsylvania, Western PA at all.
This is Eastern Ohio, to be fair.
Right, but Sharon,
Yes.
PA is
I
in
lived
Western
in
PA.
Eastern Ohio.
Yeah.
Also where you lived.
Good old Mercer County, PA.
I live more central Ohio. I like
Let's
to
get
think.
back to the visual
Anyways.
description of the sauce bottle, Eric.
Sure. So your classic Quaker steak and lube. Yeah, you like that? Green sign. It looks like a road sign is their logo. Underneath that it says sauce and marinade and some yellow text, and then we have Louisiana liquors in nice bold white labeling. And what I really like is right below it, and it's very fine text, I guess you would call it. I feel like this should be a little more highlighted somehow, but it says hot Cajun garlic barbecue mix. And I thought that was particularly interesting because that sounds unique, something worth mentioning. It has a wonderful little heat index on it. It's got 5 flames and
Helpful.
2 of which are helpful little index.
We like that. We like the heat index, Eric.
Visual representations, please.
You know this.
Some of us like them
Me
more
no
than
read
others.
words. Me like picture.
That's right.
I don't trust the pictures. I always think who says this is a 2 out of 5 in the heat?
You don't trust anything.
I don't trust anything. That's true. Let's see here. It also has our sauces get any meal revved up. So that's kind of cool. Also, nice pictures here for Adam. And it's got a picture of deer, pig, fish, turkey, alligator, cow, chicken, rabbit, and vegetables.
Gator.
So
Neat.
this sauce goes on anything, apparently.
Neat.
Yeah, very cool. I like it. Oh, I noticed actually I didn't even notice until I just held it right in the light correctly, but we have a little bit of an image on the background. So the background is shades of gray, and it's like a checkerboard. And it's got...
How many shades of gray would you say?
Oh, boy.
Oh, at least 50.
I think it's a Finnish flag, like a racing flag thing.
It's like a racing flag, but it says all kinds of like tune it up and hot off the grill. And
Suck it.
a gas pump and all kinds of like different fuel me up, things like that.
Fuel me up.
Oh.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
I thought it was Fuel
Good
Me
song.
Up.
Yeah, the Metallica is very famous for their copyright infringement policy, so we will certainly be getting a cease and desist for that.
Oh, yeah, your
For
boy
my
Lars.
Flawless rendition.
He's going to hit you with a tennis ball if you're
Yes.
not careful.
So that pretty much sums up the bottle, I think, unless I forgot something, which now we have a whole list here of things that we're supposed to be doing now.
Come on, E.
You can cut
Yes,
that out.
they gave us a list recently of things that we have to follow more rigid. They said that we're going off the rails too much on the show, so now we're back on track.
I think I did good. I don't know. I don't think I missed anything.
What does it say next on your list, Eric?
Be sure to include... No,
it says, what is it? Swap. Swap is what it says, so which means that since you did that one, we're going to swing it over to Tori for the visual description of the sauce itself inside the bottle.
Inside. Wow. Okay. Well, as we look at the side of the bottle, as the neck of the bottle, there's a bit of shingling there. A little bit. Not a lot.
It's pretty thin
Yeah.
sauce, but
It's thin. There's considerable flecks on the outside of all different shapes and sizes. We have things that almost resemble a peel, or what would be peel-esque,
Uh-oh.
possibly.
Troublesome area.
Maybe some big chunks of pepper, or both black pepper, coarsely ground pepper, as well as, your green garden peppers.
Perhaps gators.
Perhaps a gator. There is, as you get real nice and tight, there's fine flecks, there's big flecks, there's everything in between. And the homogenized, looking at, from a couple of feet away, that's a nice, I would almost say like a wine. I think that looks like a wine color.
Okay. You don't drink a lot of wine, do you?
No, I drink garbage beer constantly, but I don't
maybe
know.
a touch
It's red. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like a dark burgundy red. It's
more tomatoey.
Yeah, it looks tomatoey to me, I would say.
Damn it.
I actually thought it looks kind of like ketchup. And it was funny because Eric asked me very smarmily on the group chat. He said, "Well, do you want me to make some corn dogs to try this on?"
Oh, yeah, that really confused me.
And I said, "No, Eric, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would you ask if you wanted corn dogs on a chicken wing sauce?" And he said, "Ha ha, got him." I said, "Eric, it's kind of like that meme where it's like, I don't remember what it was. The guy talks all stupid or something like that. And it's like, ha, you thought I was retarded.
I was simply acting retarded.
Yes. And it's like, okay, joke's on me, Oh, he thought I was serious about corn dogs.
I thought it was actually quite clever. I managed to use it in two
I
ways.
thought you didn't know that what the sauce was, and you looked at a picture and thought it was something ketchup based because of the color. That was where my mind went.
Interesting. One, I wanted to make sure that you knew that I still had those corn dogs in the freezer, and
Yes.
two, I wanted to gauge just what kind of mood you were in. So I figured this would
Bad.
be... Yeah.
I'd be totally okay with corn dogs, for the record.
Actually, after trying it, I think corn dogs would have been just fine.
To be honest, I'm back on board with you there. I know you were trying to be silly and do a goddamn on me, but I do think legitimately that I would throw these on some doggies.
Doing a silly.
I don't know about corn dogs specifically. I'd more prefer the little dough weenie things that I make. Things wrapped in crescent rolls because the corn has that like sweetness to it, and I think that would be whack with this.
Mustard. That's a mustard.
Yeah, exactly.
I just like corn dogs, to be frank. I mean,
Me too.
yeah.
Are you good with your visual description, Tor?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the sauce in terms of viscous. I know I was fooled because I thought it was much thicker than what it was. So as I poured it into my little Dixie cup here, I have quite a lot. I almost have a whole ounce. It looks like a shot's worth of sauce here in front of me. So it's runnier than what I expected it to be. Smells delicious, though. I like it. I think that the Cajun on the label there rings true. I think it has a nice bite to it. I'm not tasting wise, smell-wise, but yeah, I think it's...
Well, no, that's okay. We can... what does it say next to do on our thing they gave us?
I don't know.
Eric?
I have to turn the page.
Yes, I know we've never done this before, so what does the official outline they gave us say?
Talks about guests, if applicable. We don't have a guest.
That's not applicable, yeah.
Can't check that box. It's the next segment, Eric. In bold.
It says additional factors. Yes, there we go.
Where are you at?
Am I on the wrong
Hold
page?
on a second. You're on the wrong page, you piece of shit. It says we move on to the initial tasting notes after that. Damn it.
Oh.
At the very top of the page.
I missed that too, for what it's
Oh,
worth.
for fuck's sake. Let's get on to the initial tasting notes. Tori, do you want to lead us off? You're kind of where you started with the smell, so do you want to lead us off with that?
Yeah, I think the smell and the taste were very similar. I think what you got with the smell was pretty much what was there on your palate. Of course, certainly a lot of vinegar, a lot of spice. Naturally, a lot of spice in the hot sense, not so much in the savory sense. Well, but in the savory sense too. Maybe a little bit of sweetness. I think for the first time I picked up sweetness in a hot sauce like this. I know I say often I never got the sweetness like you boys did, but I got it this time.
I think it's, pretty evident this time.
Yeah, and definitely some cracked pepperiness. I dunked my entire nugget into it. I always got a little bit of sauce on my fingertips to get the full submersion. Yeah, I thought the texture was really nice. I've had this a dozen times or so before, so this is going to be pretty high-rated sauce for me, but I thought it was really good, and I would absolutely eat it again.
Nice.
E?
Oh, well, before you do that, Eric, I did want to mention, Tori just said that he had this sauce before. Have you had the sauce before? I have.
Yeah,
okay.
I have too.
Okay, so we've all had this before at the restaurant, I assume?
Yes.
Okay,
At
cool.
and the ball yard, too. They, at least when I was going to PNC Park, they had a stand.
Oh. What did you call that? A ball yard.
Yeah, the ball yard.
Ball yard. I've never heard that before either.
I've never heard that before.
I've heard ball park.
Ball yard. All right, I like it.
But anyways, Eric, go ahead and give us your initial tasting notes there.
I'm pulling the wool over your eyes again.
We're such sports experts here, That might be a common phrase. We just don't have a freaking clue.
I was willing to roll with it for what it's worth.
It just took me a
It
little.
was probably a common phrase like in the 20s.
Take me out to the ball yard.
Like the 1920s, yeah.
It's definitely not how that song goes. Anyways, yeah. I have to agree.
That was the whole gag.
Go to an
1920s.
opera once in a while, Adam. Why
1920s.
don't you?
Go to a seventh inning stretch.
That's not a
once in while.
song.
I guess you're saying the 1920s, but you were just referencing that song was from that time or something. I don't know.
Eric,
Yeah,
what are you
I liked
on?
his.
What are you
I liked
on?
his gag. I thought it was funny.
What are you on?
Life.
High on life, bro.
The highlight. That's right.
Jesus Christ.
All right. No, I have to say I agree with Tori on most everything he said. I even might call out that vinegar since it did seem sweet. I'd say maybe I keep trying to think like I can taste these. Apple cider vinegar might be an ingredient in this, I would guess. I said it definitely has the Cajun flavors, which I really like. And I definitely said it was like ketchup. Like it distinctly tastes like amped up ketchup.
Yeah.
And it's tangy on that front. And I actually think this is what tangy bangy should be.
Huh.
That's okay.
Interesting.
This qualifies as like a sweet tanginess, and then I don't know. I suppose there's some spice, I guess there, but I mean it's savory. I wouldn't
Got a
call it
little bang.
spicy, but yeah, it's
Got a little bit of
savory.
it, yeah.
A little.
A skosh. A schleck, as Tori
Tori loves
wants
to
to say.
say.
which I
Googled that, tried to figure out.
Okay, you did too, because I did actually too. I was going to mention that.
I didn't find it. Did
it's
you?
Probably a Yiddish word. I would imagine.
You didn't find it?
I didn't. I tried.
Did you spell it wrong?
Probably.
So I did actually find the origins, and it's German, as you would imagine, and evidently in German it means a lick of something.
There you go, man.
Perfect.
Which, okay, I thought for sure we were misusing that word somehow, but
I had
spot
heard
on.
Other people use it as Tori was using it, but then when I tried to search it, it just seemed like it just wasn't a made-up word or something. I was like,
Ein Schleck!
That's weird.
Give it a schleck, dude.
It's perfect.
Get your schlecker in there.
So that's pretty much all my tasting notes that I had. I think this is ultimately what I would have liked the Tangy Bangy to have been.
Right.
Adam, how did you think?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, for me, kind of the initial thing that I smelled as soon as I cracked it, I said, oh, I know what this smells like. And I didn't want to tell you guys at the time to spoil it, but I think it smells very much like Newman's Own marinara sauce. That was strongly what I got. And my tasting of it was a little bit different. And I know that, you can definitely taste a little bit of the chunk. They're soft. It's almost kind of like a parsley or something like that in it, but it's not a perfectly smooth sauce, but it's thin enough on the nuggets, and it's mild enough that you can take a pretty damn big scoop, which is, bears mentioning, we did not try it on the dogs. We did try this on nuggets, which seemed appropriate for chicken wing sauce,
Right.
Maybe not perfect, but close enough. And I think, to me, right off the bat, I did get kind of like those vinegary notes. But I think overall, kind of like the main body of the sauce, I was getting more... I actually was getting some of that like marinara notes.
Yeah.
Marinara notes, huh?
Yeah.
Now that you say that, it rings. Yeah.
I got that more than I got the ketchup. I know that's what you're describing, Eric, but I strongly got... If I was going to try to replicate something like this, I would actually take a marinara base, and I thought, especially if you hold the cup up and kind of look at the side of the cup, like especially if you look at this side here that I'm holding up to you, I thought it was like if you took a pizza, if you can imagine a pizza.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Scraped the toppings off the bread, put it into like a sieve, and like squeegeed it out of the sieve into a bowl, because it almost seems to me like it's not just marinara, not just the sauce, but it also seems like you get that grease, like pizza grease is in there too, like from the cheese and the pepperoni and stuff.
Pepperoni in particular. You get that spice.
Yeah.
A little bit extra flavorful spice in it.
To me, it kind of tastes like straight up like pizza-ish, and like I said, I actually think there is like greasy oil stuff in this of some sort, like that same orangey type oil you get on the top of pizzas.
I was tracking you really hard until you said the pizza grease.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really? And I got that. I thought I felt that some on the mouth a little bit too. But then the other key things was I thought it was like if you took marinara and you blended it with a kind of medium sweet barbecue sauce and then threw some hot sauce in there too, maybe like some Frank's. I thought that was what I got: marinara with barbecue and Frank's.
So you don't really catch specifically Cajun notes out of it at all? Cajun seasoning?
I think there is some Cajun seasoning in there. Like I do think that's what a lot of the little chunks and stuff is Cajun seasoning.
Right.
I didn't taste it as much, but I think that maybe what I was interpreting as marinara, those more like Italian seasonings, because there's some crossover there. I think that's what I was getting.
I think there's definitely some crossover. I mean, when you were saying that, I took a sip tried to get a little sip out of the last of my cup there just to, see what you were saying. And I got a whole mouthful of like Cajun seasonings. I was actually chewing on the big, I don't know, like parsley or whatever's in there, maybe celery. I have no idea. I don't really know what goes in.
How much did you love chewing on them little particles?
I loved it.
The only downside was he's got those tight teeth. He had to get the stuff out.
Well, they'll never get stuck. I think that's why you like it so much.
Oh, that's right. He's a little bird seed eater. He was so happy he can go pick up the leftover bird seed under the feeders. And now that you're allowed to feed the birds
we're
again.
allowed to feed the birds again.
Oh, more seeds!
At least they'll stay fed. That's right. Yeah, I've had a lot of leftovers this week from neighbors or from coworkers. It's been nice.
People taking pity on you. They think you're like borderline homeless or something. Like, oh, there goes poor Eric. Do you know he lives in his car? Meanwhile,
that'd be a tiny living.
Condo estate where he's got to weed whack the whole brush yard in the back, the whole ball yard. He's got to weed whack down. But
trimming trees and all that good shit. Oh yeah, I rehung a shutter too. Yeah.
All that being said, as far as this, like I said, the stuff I'm describing, I think sounds kind of whack, but all in all, it was good. It was better than I remembered. I don't remember liking it that much when I tried it at the restaurant. That was pretty good. And I've had this two styles. I've had it hand delivered, already mixed on the wings, and for a while there, they were doing an all-you-can-eat wing at Quaker State, so I'd go there for lunch sometimes, and they would serve the wings unsauced. And then they just had all the sauces at the end, and you loaded the sauce yourself, which was an interesting concept.
I bet you love that.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, you're a big dipper.
I bet you did.
My favorite sauce that they have there, though, we did not try tonight, and actually I like it much better in the bottle than I do at the restaurant. I don't care for it at the restaurant, but we'll save that for another time because I want to try that one on the show.
Now I'm intrigued.
But if you want, you guys can share your favorite flavors for Quaker Steak if you'd like, or if not, hold them reserved.
I'd have to look them up. I don't even remember. I mean, they have a ton. They have like almost 30 different flavors?
Something like that. I know if I were to walk into a Quaker Steak tomorrow, Louisiana Liquors would be one of my picks.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you.
Yeah, I think that they are one of the most popular flavors.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe it is too.
Which is why I grabbed this one specifically. I think it's because it is kind of like a milder flavor that incorporates a lot of, common flavors.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
Very mild. Interesting that, okay, a 2 out of 5. I guess I could see it. I might even probably put it personally a lot more like a 1, but,
Eric, don't jump the gun on ratings. Can't you read the outline that they gave us?
I'm not giving it a rating. I'm saying how much I do or don't agree with, what they have
not yet,
on
Eric.
their label. Which, like I said, I know you guys really like that whole put a visual representation on their bottle, give people a heat index. Yeah, I'm not exactly for that.
Eric,
you're a graphic design guy.
I am a graphic design
Could you
guy.
improve it? Would you improve it?
It's just too unique of a thing for everyone tastes things differently, as our show is all about.
Yeah, I know where this conversation is going.
Hold on a second.
Why would you put this is a 3 out of 5 rating on
hold
something?
on. Here's the thing. I think this is fair because they are saying internally for their own sauce ratings, they've got all the way at the bottom, they've got whatever ranch dust, which is at 0, obviously. And then this is obviously a step above that. And above that, they've got, like the hot buffalo. And, they've got a couple other whack-ass flavors, that are super hot. And those are all internally consistent with them. Like they're hot, and then they're going to put on their little thing. They give you the cute little marketing thing. They put the Atomic in the little glass case with the syringe, and you have to ask for it, the whole marketing hype thing.
Sign the waiver and all that.
Sign the waiver and all that bullshit, And then that's like the second to the highest heat they have, obviously. They've got all these, and then the Atomic is the second hottest, and then as everyone knows, the hottest one they have is the General Tso's sauce.
I was wondering where you're going.
I was wondering where he's going with that too.
I was waiting for Eric to take a drink. I was hoping he was going to spit it. The world's famous General Tso's the hottest of sauces.
I was still caught up on the syringe. I'm thinking, man, he had to take that intravenously.
Yeah. No, they did used to, back when they were like really cared about this, like the Quaker State was the thing, was the wing place, back in the, early 2000s.
That's fair. Mid.
They started selling the Atomic sauce in grocery stores, and they put it in like a case. You had to go get like an employee to take it out. And it came in its own like little sealed thing, and it came with like a syringe to apply it with. So that, because it was so dangerously spicy, which it is pretty spicy if we're being honest. Like, I'm not joking. It is legit spicy, but it had better flavor than that chicken. You guys remember telling me about that chicken restaurant that I said was miserable? Yeah. It was similar heat to that, but that was more tolerable, I would say.
Interesting. All right.
Before we move on, I do want to talk about the website here really quickly because they do have somewhat of a web presence. We already discussed the Wikipedia page, but this is what they got on there for their website. Now, you'll note the price there, $5.99. I'm
very fair.
Pretty sure I paid less than that, though. I got this from Walmart many, many years ago. No, I'm just kidding. But I do think I got it last year. But yeah, pretty simple on here. Just your basic bare bones packaging. They've got, different wing flavor combination kits.
I guess if we want to do a honey ratio, maybe we should, since I seemed to lapse in when I said so good on my description there of the bottle. I didn't actually tell you what size this was. This is 12 fluid ounces.
Very good. I don't remember specifically what I paid for this, so I'll give them a pass on the
honey ratio.
On the honey ratio this week.
Buckeye BBQ for you Ohio boys.
Hey, those seasonings are good too.
The dry rub stuff? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Atomic on here. I wonder if they don't sell the Atomic individually anymore. Probably too many lawsuits from people dying.
Yeah, that's why you sign the waiver. You just waive your rights away.
It's too lethal to take.
Golden garlic. That sounds good. Sounds up my alley.
That sounds like the thing you do in the shower with the Duke's mayo.
Jesus.
Like a golden shower is when you have someone you have a nice young lady come over and urinate on you. That's a golden shower. This is a golden garlic is kind of like that, but, with, I don't know.
That's nice. That's nice.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know where you're going with that, but since you're talking about the Duke's Mayo, I guess we could do a quick sauce rewind here.
Sauce-spoken rewind! We've done like 4 rewinds
I know.
already. I'm only going to play the sound
chock-full.
effect for one, because I think it's kind of a long sound effect, so we'll do it for this one, maybe.
I was doing just this episode that dropped today, so this will drop 2 weeks later. I was doing research on the show notes and trying to find. I thought it'd be really funny to put mayonnaise on someone's toe, and I was thinking, man, am I going to Photoshop this? Am I going to have to where am I going to find this image?
Yep.
So I Google searched the image of Photoshop, as I Google searched the image of mayonnaise and toes. Holy crap! There's tons of them.
It's funny.
I had no problem finding them. And you know why? Apparently, someone started this rumor that it's good for your toenails and your cuticles.
Oh.
So people have all kinds of pictures of doing the mayonnaise test, on their fingers and then their toes. And
I've heard of putting mayonnaise in your hair for the same reason.
Yeah, and ketchup.
Yeah.
ketchup in your hair.
Well,
Ooh.
it's the vinegar in the ketchup that helps. It does actually help your hair if you put vinegar. It's actually pretty good for it.
Huh. Going bald, I won't need to worry about that.
Just grease your head up with Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah, lube her up. Yeah, it's funny you should mention that, because when I was posting the show notes to the website, I was looking at that thinking, how did Eric manage to find a picture of mayonnaise on toast? And I was thinking I bet it's not actually mayonnaise. I bet it's something else that looks like mayonnaise, and he just used it. But no, apparently that was actually just mayonnaise. Perfect.
It was like a guy taking a mayonnaise or girl. I don't know. Yeah, apparently it was just someone taking a bath with mayonnaise in it, which seemed really weird.
Oh.
I did see a whole bunch of other ones of just mayonnaise on fingers and toenails, but I thought this bath was exceptionally disgusting.
Yeah,
so
it
I threw
was.
that on
That's
there.
weird.
You would think that
Super
would
weird.
clog your drain or something, I would think,
Ooh.
Can't be good for it, I would imagine. But while we're on the soft-spoken rewind, I had a little bit of a bone to pick as well, and I wanted to bring this up. This is a little bit of a conundrum we had last week, 2 weeks ago, actually, in reference to the carry-out hot mustard sauce, and you were creating your man sauce, and we had a little bit of a debate, so I wanted to settle that debate.
Is this about plums?
This is about plums, Eric. Now, I'm just going to type plum into Google, okay?
Oh, good old plum burrow.
Now, first of all, as we all know, plum, the outside of the plum is purple, as discussed, and here's a nice bright, like you said, kind of like a translucent yellowish plum.
Right.
But now I'm going to click on Google Images. I only typed plum, mind you. Now, if we go through here and we look,
they're green. Sorry.
how's that one green? There are clearly plums
No, I was looking at the picture
that are purple. There are lots of purple plums on the inside. They are not all that yellow color, Eric. I was right. Fuck you. That's what I want to say.
And plums are so good.
I love plums too, yeah.
Plums are delicious.
But there
yes.
are lots of purple plums on the inside.
Australian black plum.
Yeah,
These are
that
all
was
keep
one
saying
image.
black plum.
Yes, there's lots of black plums. That's my point. There are lots of plums that are plum colored on the inside, and I'm going to call this one at least a solid 50-50. I was right. Thank you for not admitting it, Eric.
The knife cuts in there, and it's just this bisection of the knife cutting that skin. It just drags that, purple.
I'm going to bisect you. I'm going to drag the knife and bisect your ass and see how you like it.
Bisect.
Well, you really biffed it on that week with putting plum sauce as an ingredient in your man sauce, but why don't we go ahead on that note and get into the ingredients for this sauce?
We'll see how wrong I was when it comes to vinegar. Holy moly, this sauce has a lot of ingredients.
Yeah, that looks like a diary on there, a laundry list.
Alrighty, so we have, I'm just going to attack it at rapid speed here. Distilled vinegar, water, high fructose corn syrup, tomato paste, aged cayenne red pepper.
It's funny when you said you're going to blaze right through it. I was curious how many ingredients you would make it to and your high speed before we had to slow down. There's margarine.
Margarine, which is soybean oil hydrated.
So I was right about the oil.
Oils, water, salt, mono, and diglycerides, yada, yada, yada.
Keep reading.
Natural and artificial beta-carotene.
All right.
Wait, natural and artificial flavor. Beta-carotene. I'm sorry, it's very, very small text. I should do like a magnifying glass for
this
segment.
We'll get you a jeweler's loop for
I
next
know,
week.
it's crazy. I lost track of where I'm at. Where? Sugar, salt, corn syrup, vegetable oil, less than 2% of white wine.
White wine?
Spice, molasses, garlic.
Molasses?
cornstarch, xanthan gum,
Bang, bang!
natural smoke flavor, potassium sorbite, and where does that start on the next line there? Sodium benzate.
Sodium pentothal?
Citric acid, natural flavor, curry powder.
Huh.
And then again, end of one line, beginning of the next to this little paragraph. I keep losing track. I guess curry powder has spice, turmeric, mustard, and garlic in it.
You don't have to read the sub-ingredients.
Phosphoric acid.
Thoracic acid.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
You were reading that. You said you were reading that.
I am reading that currently.
Caramel color, celery malic acid. I don't even know what that is. Celery.
Did you call out the celery, Tori?
I'm sorry.
He did.
I called it out. Again, I skipped a line there. It's celery seed.
Okay. Not celery acid.
Yeah, not celery acid. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? Okay.
We may let you go on the rest of the ingredients for this week. This is pretty painful. There's only so much editing I can do for the listeners.
I don't know what this is, like a 13-letter word. It starts with G and ends in E, and we're not going to go there.
Let me take a gander at it.
Oh,
sure.
boy.
I just let me take. Oh, wow, this is small.
Take off the glass. Well, I'd have to take off my glasses to see that.
It's the second line up. Beginning of the second line.
Wow.
Long pause. We'll have a good 15 seconds there while Adam just scratches his head.
That is the longest word I've ever seen in my entire life. Gluconooldelten alactone. Wow. There's a lot of syllables in that one. A lot of misplaced vowels. And it does help. That is pretty bad text, I will say.
Makes me feel better now that I know that I'm eating it.
I know.
Have eaten it.
Nothing really about that ingredient list really surprised me, if I'm being honest. That was pretty much, the first 50 ingredients were all pretty much what I expected to be in there. Mainly the tomato paste, the vinegar,
definitely.
Margarine, and all that shit. Because, like I said, I detected straight pizza grease, which I think is essentially what margarine is. So
largely so, probably, yeah.
So that all made total sense to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, a little more chemically than I expected, I think, but
I didn't get the chemicals as much as probably I should have, judging from that ingredient list. Holy schmoly, it's like the Exxon Valdez in there.
Well, it is a lube.
I suppose you're right. Yeah.
Any big company mass produce things, I expect it to be a laundry list of chemicals, but I didn't really get that weird, taste from it. Just tasting it, to me, it tasted pretty simple. It tasted like something you can make with about 5 ingredients,
right? Well, if you start with ketchup, I think it's like ketchup amped up.
I don't know, dude. To me personally,
or marinara sauce.
I have a little marinara. I've got some Frank's, and I've got some barbecue. I might just try whipping this up and see what turns out. Just for curiosity's sake.
Side by side,
that'd be pretty fun. Actually, I think that'd be cool.
Maybe. All right. Well, with all that being said, we got a lot of good quality discussion on that. And without further ado, why don't we go ahead and lead it off into the ratings portion of the show? And Tori, would you like to lead us off with your rating first?
Yeah, sure. I think I made myself pretty clear. I've had this before and I've liked it. I've gone, if I go to Quaker Steak and Lube, I will order this sauce, maybe among others. So I like it. I seek it out, and my score will reflect that accordingly. So it's going to be a 7 for taste, and I think personally it deserves a heat rating. I don't know.
Yes,
I think you may think I'm a wussy or whatever.
No, there is clearly intent for heat in this sauce. I would say.
Okay, that's fair. I don't think it's crazy. I'm going to give it a 3 on the heat. They
provided their own heat rating, so I think that's fair too.
Right? Yeah. So I think with all that being said, so we're going to go with a 7 and a 3.
Huh. Well. Man, I hate to jump the bandwagon here, but honestly, I'm spot on with both of you on those. That's going to be me too, 7 and a 3.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be my shortest ramble for ratings yet. That's all I have to say about it. Just but pretty good. Like I said, I actually didn't think I liked it this much. I did not expect to like it this much.
Damn good. They're PA boys, so, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. All very cool. Nothing else to say. Eric, what about you?
It's been a long time since I've been to a Quaker Steak and Lube restaurant. Since, like I said, we were discussing, a lot of them have closed up and whatnot. So when I see Louisiana liquors on, when I just hear that name, I think it's going to be spicy. I think it's going to be hot. I'd almost would avoid this sauce if I was ordering sauces. I'm pretty sure I've had it, though, at the restaurant. I'm pretty sure the wait staff helped to guide us, my family, into, you don't like things too spicy. Well, this is a really popular one. It's really not that spicy.
This is our pussy sauce for your
right? Yeah,
for your little bitch family.
Oh.
And they do have the visual representation on the menu.
I think they do.
Yeah, so you'd be at a little thermometer. You'd be able to tell pretty quickly
that this isn't that bad of a sauce.
In the
yes,
hierarchy.
sir. This is the sauce of the day that we recommend for the men with effeminate feet.
Feminine step.
Feminine steps.
Step.
I can see you're a man of delicate footwork. Perchance, should you partake in this Louisiana liquors?
I mean, I would actually start this off on... I'm going to start the rating off backwards. I'm going to do my heat first. So I actually would...
That's not on the outline they gave us!
Uh-oh. Breaking
protocol.
the format here. Yeah, I drank the sauce after, trying initially with the chicken nuggets, and I drank it again when Adam was talking about the marinara
because it was free.
Reference.
Sustenance.
And because it's free, yeah.
I had one baked potato for dinner tonight.
Exactly. This helps out with balance my dinner.
It's got all those vitamins and chemicals in it.
So, yeah, I thought the heat rating was... I'm going to give it a 1.5. I don't think it was particularly spicy.
Wow.
That seems really low to me.
Yeah.
I honestly think I'm pretty sure I gave the tangy bang sauce either a 1 or a 1.5 since I just did the...
I detected noticeable heat in this. Like, it would not, it wasn't a factor for me, but I detected it.
I think the tangy bangy might have actually had more heat.
I think Eric's still pissed off about the visual representation on the front of the bottle.
Could be.
Still gritting on that. Maybe. I don't know. But no, flavor-wise, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Actually, I'm going to give it an 8. So.
Oh.
But I don't like the little graph on the front, so
Yeah.
I'm going to subtract
That
5 points
sucked.
for it. I'm giving it a 3.
Hey, I think everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just don't think you should expect others to conform or agree, I guess. I don't know.
I think maybe as a group we have, even with Tori liking heat less, I think maybe our average heat tolerance is probably slightly higher than the normal population, I would say. And considering the fact that Tori and I both gave this a 3, and they're only saying their equivalency, their soft-spoken equivalency is a 4 out of 10. Thanks for doing the math for us here.
Yeah, wow.
You were struggling there. I thought I'd give you a little
Duh,
hand
duh.
size.
That's why I said it 3 times. It's a 4 out of 10. So I think they were, that jibes with me.
Yeah, I think that's
That tracks.
totally fair.
So
I guess I don't know. I mean, I know obviously I shouldn't be holding sauces to the algorithm of other sauces, God forbid, but I know there's a whole lot of hotter shit out there, as Adam is a big fan of doing with
you said the magic word that summoned goes to Paul.
the algorithm. Yeah.
I grabbed the dice.
We talked about, the atomic sauce that I forget atomic, what they call it, atomic dust, Adam? Is that what?
No, it's just atomic sauce.
Or atomic sauce that Quaker steak and lube actually has themselves.
They also have a dust. That's another waiver, and they just walk up and blow it in your eyes.
Oh, nice. Fantastic.
Throw it on your shorts.
They also sell it in an enema format for those who...
Ooh, very
wow.
pleasant.
Wow, that'd be one hell of a challenge. So yeah, I think it's interesting that they they have such an extreme heat level
Extreme!
that Adam's even aware of, and yet he's like, oh yes, this is clearly a 4 out of 10 when he's had something that's so much more spicy. But
Well,
maybe I'm wrong because I've
Atomic is like
never
a 10
had
out.
the atomic. So
Atomic is a 10 out of 10, but I mean, like, I don't know. I think that like I said, me personally, I'm saying it's a 3 out of 10, but I think it is fair for them to call it a 4 out of 10 for most people. That's
Okay.
my point. But since you said the magic word, the magic A word, we're going to summon Ghost Paul, and he's going to do a little flavor and heat rating for this. Ghost Paul thinks that this is a 6.
All right, Paulie.
All right, Paulie.
Yeah.
Very good. He thinks it's a 6 for flavor. Let's
Okay.
see what he thinks for the heat rating. He thinks it's a 5 for the heat rating. So he thinks a little bit spicier. He thinks they've got a little bit more than they've got rated there.
Paul
So,
must have had a pepper stuck in his throat. You know how that happens, and it just drives you bonkers for a little while.
I did
Right.
notice
May
that
influence a rating or two.
this was distinctly spicier for me on its own versus on the nugget. The nugget, I got very little heat. But when I tried it on the toothpick on its own, I got some heat there.
Yeah.
Noticeable.
I also took a little, I wouldn't say a schleck. It was maybe 4 schlecks worth of sauce, and
so like a baby sip.
maybe like a baby sip. Yeah, I don't know what the exchange rate to schlecks to baby sips are, but that sounds about right. But yeah, I mean, the texture, I think you nailed it with the marinara sauce. I mean, it's the ketchup marinara sauce. That's the most accurate thing I've heard all night.
It may just be like a ketchup, but the Cajun seasonings they're putting in it are making more like a marinara. Like, I would stand by that explanation if that was their if a food scientist there told me that.
Wow.
So
A lot of crossover between Italian fare and Cajun fare, like oregano or something.
Yeah, I think oregano, basil. I think you can put a lot of similar things. Obviously, there's some pretty major discrepancies there too, but I think that maybe I could see that having an influence. So, especially if you're aiming for a milder sauce to begin with.
Fair enough. Down on the bayou.
But with that ingredient list, they are definitely crafting this from scratch. So it's not like they're cheating and using, a marinara base or a tomato ketchup base or anything like that.
Good point.
As our other sauces have in the past.
Yeah,
so.
They're not using this like a Hank's. They're not starting with, hot sauce and marinara sauce as their first two ingredients, They're making their own proprietary chemical cocktail. So... All right, well, I think that's going to do it for us this week for the Quaker Steak and Lube Louisiana Liquors Sauce and Marinade Hot Cajun Garlic Barbecue Mix. With all that being said, Eric, please consult your outline and see what it says on there for you for your closing thoughts, because you're going to be leading us off with that this week.
Come up with it.
Just come up with something, Eric.
That's funny. I was going to say, I'm so glad that we had these helpers this time so we could all stay on track. No, I was going to say, actually, when I came up with something before the podcast without the helpers.
You sound like you got a hairball over there.
A little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Anyways.
I read an interesting Chinese proverb. I think it was a Peruvian proverb, I think, actually.
Those are pretty different.
Yeah, I know. Very different. But it said, think of many things and do one. And I thought that was, I don't know, apropos. I liked it. I thought it was neat. Little sage advice. You can have a lot of things going on. Of course, we are all examples of failing at that because we had these lists that we're supposed to just look at and guide us and not be part of the show. But now they lovingly became part of the show. Our whole outline. Tori, what do you think? Do you think we failed at the being able to think of many things and only do one, or were we all over the place tonight?
I don't know, man. I think we did pretty darn good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's trying to sell your touching moments with Tori that's coming up next because it was a little wholesome for Eric.
My apologies.
I'm a trendsetter.
I should be more stuttering and more groping for some, tangible.
You're groping something.
Groping something.
And we should make you sing some more songs. That was fun last time.
I don't think we should be singing anymore.
Listeners like that, I'm pretty sure.
I'm definitely sure they're not.
That's a new soundtrack. I released it independently on Spotify. The song, wow. A 10-second long song. I'm just kidding here. Eric's panicking internally. He's got his eye. He's smiling with his mouth, but his eyes are dead. He's not smiling with his eyes. He's like, I'm going to kill him. Tori, what about you? What do you got for closing thoughts?
Yeah, I can't relate it back to the sauce. I wish I could. But I just wanted to say that if you are one of the lucky ones that have your parents or grandparents still in your life, I think you should give them a call. I think that is important. Tell them that you love them. And, just give them a shout, because I'm sure they'd love to hear from you. And, you never know. You might learn something. They've been around for a couple years. They've seen a few things. So, give them a shout. Talk to your parents. Talk to your grandparents, because they'd love to hear from you. And we love to hear from you. So while you're at it, after you're done, give us a shout, because, we'd love to hear from you. I'd love to engage with you. And we just love you being here. So thank you. And that'll do it for me.
Great. Like I said, well, I think that's going to do it for us this week. As always, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you next week.
Oh no, it's the end of the show. Thank goodness there's several other episodes waiting just for you. Check out our Instagram. We like to have some fun over there. We post the sauce bottle pics if you're curious, and the occasional meme. That's going to be Sauce Spoken Official. Despite our humble nature, we are accepting donations, believe it or not. Look us up on PayPal. That's going to be @SauceSpoken. Hey, and if you like what you hear, grease those palms, babe. Lastly, roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. It's saucespoken.wordpress.com. We have show notes and details. Check it out. Share us with a family member or a friend. If you're enjoying it, I'm certain they will too. Good night.